One.
In 2007, approximately 3.2 million children were victims of abuse or neglect in the United States. And many of these people developed various psychological disorders stemming from the abuse and neglect. And one of these disorders is emotional deprivation disorder, and is developed in early infancy or childhood. In those critical times when the infant and child is developing, they have to have love and affirmation from their primary caregivers. And if they don't get that, sometimes they can develop this disorder along with other disorders. But this one in particular, essentially the child is emotionally stunted, and even into adulthood they cannot ever grow emotionally. In the 1950s, this was studied by Conrad Bars and Anne Tarui, and they wrote a book about it, and they studied many people that had been neglected and abused in early infancy and childhood. What they found across the board was that these children did not respond to conventional psychotherapy or drug therapy. The patients were not repressing their feelings like a lot of the other disorders that they repressed, but instead they needed to be affirmed, which is what Conrad Bars and Anne Tarui, they said that once you have affirmation from someone, then you can be healed, and that's the kind of therapy that they did. The symptoms of someone with emotional deprivation disorder are extreme anxiety, and their anxiety stems from their fear of being judged or criticized by people that they're around, and they're so oversensitive to this that they can become aggressive or violent, and sometimes these people, they seem like that they are maybe energetic, but actually they're not. They're covering up their insecurities with their energy and their courageousness that is just outward. Inside they feel inadequate and worthless and unlovable. Their social skills are underdeveloped, and these are adults that they feel like they're a child inside, basically, and they act like a child when they're put in social situations. They're always looking for baby-like attention, childlike attention, and it makes them feel extremely uncomfortable in social situations. They exhibit egocentricities, which means that they cannot maintain solid relationships in families or marriages. They're suspicious of people who show them kindness. They feel like everybody is out to get them. No one could ever love them, and they could never love anyone else. Some other problems caused by emotional deprivation disorder are even decreases in their senses of sight and smell and sound and taste. Those can be depressed, and they also suffer sometimes from depression and chronic fatigue, which also goes along with depression. But the treatment of emotional deprivation disorder is fairly simple idea of just giving this person the unconditional love that they never received as an infant or a child. Once they receive that, they can start to heal, and many people do recover fully. But the therapist has to be patient and kind with that person, because they do not respond to the opposite of that. If you're impatient beyond that. They have to have a genuine interest in their well-being, mother-like attention, just, you know, basic things that you get from your mom is what they lacked, and once they receive that, they respond to it very well. And if they can develop a trust with the therapist, and the therapist can fulfill the needs emotionally of the person, that's when they begin to heal. And the book that they wrote, Healing with Affirmation, is what brings to light the lifelong struggles stemming from child abuse and neglect. And it also gives hope to those people because they just need to feel loved.